What's up, bag holders? Big day in the market with Powell Ka-chow. Market's up, no flips. But first things first, we need to go through here and get the spreadsheet updated. We had a lot of activity today. We'll start with commodities just because that was the last thing that I did today. And we had a beautiful move on ETH. So you can see that we actually got in here and it moved right up. Let's see. I'm real curious to see how this goes because I really think that this is going to compound at an incredible rate, only because it's such a volatile asset. Looks like we got in actually underserved a little bit, so pretty good returns on this quick little move. And it's a no stress, 24 hours a day, 3.93%. Beautiful. And we talk in percents because it doesn't matter how much money you have. 6 into 4, isn't it? Okay. A percent is a percent across the board. We did the same thing with Bitcoin. This was a little bit of a different move here, but you can see the thing. We missed this one, so we actually got in down here and wrote it up. So this was a much cleaner move. And the only issues I have is with the brokerage on this, but they're going to make their money. So there's no really good way to do it. But at the same time, if I'm making money, I don't see any reason to not do it. Right? If I'm losing money, that's a whole nother deal, right? But I'm not. Making pretty good money. The brokerage is fleecing me, but if there wasn't a brokerage, I wouldn't make anything, right? So I'm grateful. You know, this was only a 0.63, nothing big here, but it all adds up. And it all gets chopped up. So we have, let's just double check ETH here. And then I did sell some gold as well. So you can see the beautiful move in gold. A little Yukon Cornelius there, you know. We got silver and gold. And it took me a while before I had really enough money to even worry about it, in my opinion. Obviously, there's some gold bugs out there that will disagree. But I had to put my initial money into assets that produce cash, and that's why I trade gold instead of just hang on to it. But I'm okay if the trade goes south, right, and I'm just hanging on to a bunch of gold. That's cool. So to me, it's nothing to worry about. It's sleep well at night. This was only a 0.41% return. And you think, well, what's the point? Well, if you do that over and over and over again, it's the repeatability of the cycle that really gives you the returns. It's about the compounding of the interest, right? So, and we're still holding on to silver. Looks like it hit. I don't know why my alert didn't go off, or maybe it did. Oh, it did, but we're still stuck. So, we must have had this a while. So we'll probably be looking to get out of that in the morning, right? So I'll put that on my list for that. All right. We did a nice little swing trade today on the SPXL. We'll go through that real quick. And this was a beaut. From right here to right here. And I don't think we track that as a percentage on this spreadsheet. I don't know why I don't have everything all nice and neat, but I do not. For this, I don't really care about the percentages. All I really want to make sure is that I am churning frickin' money. And this was a good one. Looks like it's 3% or so, 3.5% in literally a few minutes. So that's going on. And I'm curious to see how fast this one compounds as well. I think it's really going to take off. but it's really small money, so something I'm checking out. General Mills I finally put in for the sell. Looks like we've got it filled. General Mills, where you at, bud? There it is. And I was able to sell for $67.63 per share. And let's go back to the daily here. Let's get our stuff together here. And you can see, here we are, 65. That's kind of where I'm at. I was probably a little chicken tonight, but you know, I don't want to bag hold this kind of stuff, to be honest. But that was a 6.25% returns. We've held this one a little while, so the annualized was 47.55% returns. And if I can make 47% returns a year, I'll be very rich in very short amount of time. Next, McCormick. I went ahead and got rid of this. This one's been grinding for a while. It's just a slow mover. Probably would make more if I just hung on to it. We do have the dividend coming up, but this one did push. So I let it go. If you love them, let them go. And I let them go. And I love them because it's still in my investment account. So we're still going to get that dividend. And that's the beauty about having them in the multiple different accounts. Probably your tax person will probably not advise that, but I'm not your tax person. So the whole thing about a trading account to me is just making money, generating cash. I don't care about any of that other crap. We have the spin-offs as a tax write-off source, and that just takes care of itself in the charity, of course. But this was a 8.53% returns. We held this one a while as well, since about Halloween, for an annualized 70.75% returns. Damn good. Now, with Powell speaking today, it's likely we're going to get a push in stocks, so probably look like a bit of a moron as far as letting them go. But that is the strategy. So I'll be in the premium game then. And speaking of the premium game, I got assigned 100 shares per contract of Hawaiian Electric back in the day. And I let those go today for break even. So I get to keep all the premiums. But just to talk through that one. Next one is VGR. And this actually gets to put money into the charity, I believe. So I'm curious to see how the math works out on this one. It was a pretty big position for me. So let's see. It should hit the threshold. But I just want to see the dollar amount. Flips go a little different. So I'm not really too worried about price per share out. I just want to make sure that when I sold it, I got more money than what I put into it. And we did. So we do have money for the charity. And that's what it's all for. So good hit. That was a big position. You can see how many times it hit the 30. Boom, boom, boom. And if you go back further, I mean, it was just always hitting it. So we were able to build a very nice position and get out. I bought some more Pepsi today as part of my war on inflation. 3M, which is our spin-off play right now, paid a dividend, so we get that. Walgreens paid a dividend. Amcor paid a dividend, which we have a pretty nice position there, so we got that. PPG paid a dividend. And then our Cisco order did fill. So let's go ahead and revisit that one. Here's my double circle. So let's make sure we add that into All right, let me get my little handy dandy calculator here and get the grand total. But we got filled at $49.33 per share. Not that that matters too much. All right, and we're ready for the races. Higher high, higher low, right? That is officially the definition, the start of an uptrend. We're on at the very bottom. That's how you make tons of money. All right, so now we have all those done. Let's go through and see if we can sell anything else, and then we will work towards finding a trade for today. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And these are just the overall markets just at the top. There's really no better way, in my opinion, to organize these, so that's just kind of the way they are. Hasbro's we're way up in Hasbro too, and they just announced a bunch of layoffs and all that stuff. And just understand, no matter how compassionate you are for people, that the layoff cycle is next, and it has to happen. There is no recovery without massive layoffs, so that has to happen. I put the order in for this one at the high of day because it was up over 65 at that time. Nothing sold, but it's in there, so it might fill tomorrow. All right, so we had our 30 hit right here, right? We're in here. 30 hit. 31.99 over 31.92. This is an entry. See how that works? Beautiful. We can get filled. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what the post price is. That's not an interest to me. Put it at the closing print. Put the order in now. At $32.70 per share. And this one's nice too because you got a setup and the price really didn't move that much. So it got filled immediately, which goes to show you, just throw it in. Okay, let's get the handy dandy calculator here and make sure this is actually higher price than we initially bought it. But it fits the plan, right? Y'all see how it fits the setup? Makes some sense to you? Can you see me clearly? This one here, I think I'm just going to move it. I'm not going to trade this thing. I'm just stacking up crazy shares of Pepsi. It's my favorite company of all times. And I'm buying it every time I buy Pepsi products. Which, if you know, Google Pepsi products. Just Google it. And once you see how many products they own, you can see how much Pepsi stock I'm buying. A lot. And so is everybody else. You know what I mean? So we did that. So let's just put that to bed. Kimberly-Clark. We're getting back up in there. All right, so now all we're looking for is a 61 on the Cracker Company. It's a little low, man. Gotta let it go. Oh, here's one. ADP. Bang, this one ran. I tried to keep a little eye on them. Looks like we got two. Wow, we're barely up. But we did lock in the dividend. All right. 239.22. So this one's going to be like a busto even. If it fills. Which it should. It did. ADP. I got APD on here too. Do I have ADP? Yeah, we've had this thing a long time. This is going to be a great example to show with you folks that they're not all home runs. Because we barely made anything on this one, but I still think it's valuable to get rid of it. It's about a flow. It was only a 0.39% returns, but we did pull out a dividend as well, which is not reflected in this. 2% a year. So if you add the dividend, that probably gets us back up to like 8 or 10. But for the time that we held it, right? So that's one good thing to keep in perspective. They're not all home runs. And I'm still going to remain relatively conservative on, that was the last one, on my cash management side, even though I am significantly less in leverage right now. We'll just let the stuff feed out, get back into cash, and then we'll go through the list and buy everything in sight. And I'm just waiting it out a few more days, and then get through the next cycle of the premium. The premium eats up a lot of my liquidity because it's 100 share increments, and I'm generating a lot of passive income. So that's where the focus is, but this is where what keeps us in the game right here. And just got to get the account going again, and looks like the markets should be fueled by the Powell, and that's what we got. In addition, I did finally get my last statement. I don't think I'm going to do it today as a video. I think I'm just kind of mentally spent. So, but look for that in the next few days for November main account statements. Been waiting on this one statement and just got it today. But we'll be doing some pretty big purchases, which I'm excited for. So if you're interested in something like that to see how the whole picture fits together, stay tuned for that video. It'll be in the next few days or on the weekend, and we will knock it out. So I hope y'all made some money today. If you did, share it down in the comments, man. What'd you sell today? And or hit the thumbs up if you like to sell some stuff. So if you've been selling, I mean, we're going to get in the market where if you buy anything, you're going to make money, pretty much. So how long will it last? Nobody knows the answer to that. But it's pretty clear at this point. Also keep in mind on the daily for the S&P, look at that RSI. That's also part of the reason I'm not so anxious to borrow money to buy stocks, which is usually probably a bad idea anyway, but I'm definitely not going to do it at this point in time, right? So hopefully that makes some sense to you. If we get some sideways chop or something, we can likely continue to climb. But we could also, at a 70 RSI with this parabolic candle here, we could come right back down. So just be prepared for anything both ways. And that's why if I get one close, I just take the guaranteed money. With the ADP, with that 2%er, you might think, well, what's that do to the average? Well, the average is still 121.81% annualized returns on this strategy. And if you could double your money every year, you'd be rich in not that many years. So I hope this is all helpful to you. A little excitement today, a little something to talk about. You can see our list over here is getting pretty small. And then, yeah, it's just one page. We don't even have the rut. It's just these. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see it all go into cash and just play real heavy in the option side. But no matter what the market does, we're ready and we have a strategy for it. And we do follow the system because we're disciplined and consistent. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Have a great evening. We'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.